The Japanese destroyer Mikazuki was one of 12 Mutsuki-class destroyers, built for the Imperial Japanese Navy during the 1920s. At the beginning of the Pacific War, she served in home waters as the plane guard for those aircraft carriers that were training or working up. In mid-1942, the ship played a minor role in the Battle of Midway and was then assigned to convoy escort duties between Formosa and Japan for the next year. Mikazuki was then transferred to the Solomon Islands in mid-1943 and was destroyed by American bombers after running aground. Design and description: the Mutsuki-class was an improved version of the Kamikaze-class destroyers and was the first with triple 61-centimeter torpedo tubes. The ships had an overall length of 102.4 meters and were 94.5 meters between perpendiculars. They had a beam of 9.16 meters and a mean draft of 2.96 meters. The Mutsuki-class ships displaced 1,336 metric tons at standard load and 1,800 metric tons at deep load. They were powered by two Parsons-geared steam turbines, each driving one propeller shaft, using steam provided by four Campon water tube boilers. The turbines were designed to produce 38,500 shaft horsepower, which would propel the ships at 37.25 knots. The ships carried 420 metric tons of fuel oil, which gave them a range of 4,000 nautical miles at 15 knots. Their crew consisted of 150 officers and crewmen. The main armament of the Mutsuki-class ships consisted of four 12-centimeter Type 3 guns in single mounts, one gun forward of the superstructure, one between the two funnels, and the last pair back-to-back atop the aft superstructure. The guns were numbered 1 to 4 from front to rear. The ships carried two above-water triple sets of 61-centimeter torpedo tubes. One mount was between the forward superstructure and the forward gun, and the other was between the aft funnel and aft superstructure. 4 reload torpedoes were provided for the tubes. They carried 18 depth charges and could also carry 16 mines. They could also fitted with minesweeping gear. Mikazuki was one of 6 Mutsuki-class ships reconstructed in 1935–36, with the hulls strengthened, raked caps fitted to the funnels and shields to the torpedo mounts. In 1941–42, most of those ships were converted into fast transports with no 2 or number 3 guns removed. In addition, 10 license-built 25mm Type 96 light AA guns and at least 2 13.2mm Type 93 anti-aircraft machine guns were installed. The minesweeping gear was replaced by 4 depth-charge throwers, and the ships now carried a total of 36 depth charges. These changes reduced the speed to 34 knots and increased the displacement to 1,944 metric tons at normal load. 3 more 25mm guns were added in 1942–43. Construction and career. Mikazuki, built at the Sasebo Naval Arsenal, was laid down on the 21st of August 1925, launched on the 12th of July 1926 and completed on the 5th of May 1927. Originally commissioned simply as Destroyer No. 32, the ship was assigned the name Mikazuki on the 1st of August 1928. In the late 1930s, she participated in combat during the Second Sino-Japanese War, covering the landings of Japanese troops in central and southern China. Pacific War. At the time of the attack on Pearl Harbor, Mikazuki was part of Carrier Division 3 under the IJN First Fleet, and based in Japanese home waters as escort to the aircraft carriers Hosho and Zuiho. During the Battle of Midway on 4–5 June 1942, Mikazuki sortied as part of the escort Fuzui with Admiral Nobutake Kondo's occupation force, and was thus not involved in combat during that battle. Afterwards, Mikazuki was reassigned to the Southwest Area Fleet. From July 1942 to March 1943, Mikazuki escorted convoys between Moji, Kyushu and Taiwan. From the end of March to the 10th of June 1943, Mikazuki underwent refit at the Sasebo Naval Arsenal, after which she was reassigned to Destroyer Division 30 of the SRON 3, in the IJN 8th Fleet based out of Rabaul. From the end of June 1943 to July 1943, Mikazuki was used primarily as a Tokyo Express high-speed transport to convey troops and supplies to Kolombangara. She participated in the Battle of Kula Gulf on 5–6 July, during which she landed Special Naval Landing Forces under fire. Mikazuki also provided cover during the Battle of Kolombangara on the 12th of July. On the 27th of July 1943, Mikazuki grounded on a reef while on a troop transport mission to Tuluvu, New Britain, 5.450 degrees south, 148.417 degrees east, -5.450, 148.417. The following morning, she was attacked and destroyed by USAAF B-25 Mitchell bombers, with loss of 8 crewmen. Mikazuki was struck from the Navy list on 15 October 1943.